just leave it. They get practice. So I can leave words. I can leave different things I want them to say on there. And it's the ability for me to provide that to students. They call the number, record their voice. I can assess that. I can go say, okay, they said purple well, or ooh, there's a problem with purple on there. I can get that information easily. The other one is a program called VoiceThread. Are you familiar with VoiceThread? Anybody? This is actually a program I'm using a lot in my classes. We actually have, it's actually a paid one on this one. Most of the other ones are free, so I apologize if this is a paid app. But with Oklahoma State University, I have them pay for it for all of our students. So I have accounts I give my students, and we use this for a lot of different assignments in the classes. What it is a program where you create slides, similar to a PowerPoint, I guess you could say on there. But the slides are either going to be picture or video on there. And students can record their voices, and when they record their voice, they'll hit a comment button, click the comment button, record their voice, and then it'll pop up with an icon on the side of the picture, and I can click on the student's icon and hear what they have to say. Okay. So I can make questions. That's what's nice about it, is I can record my voice as prompts, and I can say purple, and then they go down, click comment, they say purple, an icon pops up with their name on it, I click on it, I can hear them say purple. So it's very visual. It's a very slick program on there. Like I said, this can cost money, but it's not that much. It's $100 a year for 50 licenses, so 50 different teachers can use them. But it is a nice feature on there. It makes it very easy to record voices. And they can record using the microphones on the computer, or they can even use their cell phones or any phone they have. You just push that you want to do it by phone, it'll call you on your phone, and you say purple, hang up, icon pops up with a name. It's very easy, safe to use. Those are two of the technologies. But basically, we're just looking for any technology where I'm able to give them a prompt, and they're approved. Next kind is intensive. Remember, we need a short, not even conversations, but short excerpts of speech. So we're looking at that. We're looking at short stretches, testing grammar, phrasal, lexical, phonological. So tests are tasks that would include things like read alouds, picture cued assessments, dialogue completion, response tasks. So I need to be able to show something visually, maybe you're not listening on there, and the students need to be able to respond to it. It's basically what we're looking for, right? Visual text or visual cues with record and store technology. So with this, we go to some other technologies on here. I put VoiceThread out there again. It works very well. That's kind of what inspired this whole thing. When I saw VoiceThread the first time, I thought, man, there's so many things I could do with VoiceThread. It's fantastic. But there's also other programs. For example, I could use a course management system like Edmodo. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Edmodo. It is an app. It is a course management system. So students can go to this as their main class website. I can put different assignments, put a grade book, whatever it is that I want them to do. And I can also give them visual cues on there. And then they can record their voice on a program like Rueckert. So you can actually work together with each other. Okay? So they can go to Edmodo, see the visual cue, and then with Rueckert, which is a site where you just record your voice, it's an easy recording, where you can export the audio and put it right into Edmodo. So you can upload that to the Edmodo site. There's me reading that text. Okay, so I can assign it to my students very easily. They go to Edmodo, look at it, go to Rueckert, read it, and then put the file right up in Edmodo. Or I can just do it with VoiceThread. Like I said, I can just upload the text, they can read it, and then the icon pops up. And that's it. The next one is responsive, so short conversations. And I think about having students do short conversations. What do we really need? We need audio recording and storage which allows collaborative input. So you can have more than one person talking to record this. Right? There are some apps out there that we can do where students can use this, because what all these do is it allows our students to go home and do these outside the classroom and bring them back in, and I can go through them quickly and check. Right? So we're talking about practicality. There are many, many different apps that are similar to this. I put up here Toontastic and Public Pals. I don't know if you've heard of those, but basically you can put together like a play, and you have two pictures or icons, whatever it is, you can move around. So a student can be each person be a different puppet, and they could perform a dialogue back and forth with the puppet pals. Or a toon task, they could be a cartoon character, and they could do it. So one person could be moving one and talking, while the other person moving the other one and talking, and you could record this conversation back and forth between the two of them, and I could easily go through and see their ability to go through those types of scripts. Okay? So they could do this, that could be their homework assignment, go home, have a conversation with their partner, they create their little dialogue, turn it in. That takes some of that effort out of the classroom, so they can do it at home, you can bring it in, and then turn it to you. Okay, so this is the area where this becomes a little bit more important, because we're getting to the harder ones to assess because of practicality, right? We talked about mimicking and parroting. Those are very easy ones, those intensive ones. Purple, it worked, we did it, it's good. When you go to these later ones, they become more difficult to do. We don't want to do a 5-minute speech sometimes, take up 2.5 hours of speaking from our classroom, send them home. So these next ones are where we really run into practicality issues in the traditional classroom. But we do have technologies that are evolving that will help us out. So again, interactive is very similar to the last one, the responsive area, where we have to have a conversation. The difference really is it's a longer conversation. So we're going to have some of the same technologies where we can do the conversation capture on things like Zoomcasting and puppet pals. But we can also move these into things like, I put Animoto, but there's many different video capture type apps, anything that records a video. Right? How many of you have ever recorded a video using your phones? A few people, right? It's something that's very, very common now. Put it up to YouTube, whatever it may be. But there are many, many, many different apps that allow you to record video. Think about that now. If all our students have their own video cameras that they carry around in their pockets, that's not that part of the assignment necessarily to ask them to record a video outside class. Or have everybody within the class make it at the same time if they wanted to. They can put together their own video, so I don't have to have them in front of the class presenting this conversation and taking up a week's worth of class to be able to get through that one area I want to assess. They can take it outside of class just like they would an essay or any homework assignment, record their video amongst themselves, upload it to, could be a YouTube site if we wanted to. We could do it to more private sites like we had that Edmodo that I was showing you before, where you control it just in the classroom. They can upload it there. So just turn it over. So we start incorporating some of these tools our students already have. And then extensive, this is the longer speaking, right? So being able to give a presentation, being able to talk for longer types of time. So we don't really need the collaborative part anymore if it's just one person's monologue as you go into this. So what we need to do for our technology needs is we just need something that can record in a presentation style format. So audio recording storage with presentation capabilities. Okay? So there are a number of different technologies we can also use for this. Again, we can go back to VoiceThread if we want to, because I can put up a series of pictures, which could be my slides. I could even upload a PowerPoint into VoiceThread if I wanted to, slide by slide, and that would give me the ability to record my voice and narrate all of those different slides, and then turn it in, and I can see that presentation without having the formal in front of the classroom presentation. YouTube, again, recording video, capturing just a little bit of the presentation, students can do that. How to is kind of an animated presentation. I don't know if any of you are familiar with how to or not, but it's one where I can create animated ones so things are moving around, maybe you have a hand writing words out on there, and you're able to record your voice over it as going through. So it is one that would allow you to create a presentation, or your students to create a presentation about a topic where they narrate and they record their voice. And then at the bottom, I have Prezi. This presentation is the Prezi. If you're not familiar with Prezi, that's where it's zooming in and out. That type of thing goes for a big picture. This is the Prezi. Prezi itself allows me to do the visual part, but I can also record voice into it if I record it and upload it. So I can have the files. That's where both would record it. So I can easily create a slideshow and then record my voice. This slide, you said this, I record it, put that file in that slide. Next spot, record my voice, put it in that spot. So I can very well narrate a Prezi is just the tip of the iceberg. There are tons of technologies out there that we can run through these criteria that are set that would allow us to be able to find appropriate technologies to bring into the class. Okay. So if we're going to do an example, see if David's looking like. Okay, it is not working on here. Okay, I was going to take you to an example of the present, but being used for it. At Oklahoma City University, we run a community English school, and we use our placement test for their speaking placement as a present. So what used to happen, or not present, as a voice thread. So what used to happen is I'd have students come in that wanted to take English classes completely free for community members, and our students work there, right, to help people learn English. So it's their practical experience that they can have if they want. But it's completely free and always available to students. So we don't have a start date and an end date. We just do it 2 days a week that they're able to come in. So I can have new students come in every day on there. So what happens as being the director of it is if I have students coming in and I have to give them a placement test every day as they come in, I'm using all my time doing that, and I'm not working with the students or with my students that are people learning English or my students that are teaching English. It won't work with them as much because I'm doing this placement test all the time. But what I've done is I've moved the placement test, the verbal part of that, the oral part, as a voice thread. So students can sit down, put their headphones on, watch it, and respond. They can record to it very easily. And that's the clip I was going to show you. Or I give you that if you want. I'll give you my card a little bit if you'd like to see that. But it makes it very easy to assess their speaking on there in a way that I don't have to be doing that myself as a teacher. So it's made it more practical. Okay. So that's my presentation on here. This is an example of what I do. So what I do is I look at technologies, oftentimes I come up with practical ways to be able to use it, and then we test out how well and how effective they are in different situations. At Oklahoma City University, we have a course called Technology in the Classroom, and that's where we go over a lot of these technologies over a full semester. This is a very short presentation on it on here, but this is where we learn to utilize different technologies to bring the classroom to benefit, facilitate English learning. One project I'm working on now is coming up with a taxonomy so we can start to rate new technologies that emerge as they go into these different areas. So we say, okay, this is great for containment, this is great for extensive, whatever it may be. Try to find good fits and coming up with criteria as far as how we measure the quality of them for ease of use, practicality, cost, things like that. Really much fun. Any questions on this?
We can apply that here.
That's what I hope on it. Right? So some ones that's meant to be a little bit more practical in nature because we have these readily available aggregated classes and use it. The problem I find a lot with technology is that it comes out, well, so much comes out so quickly, it's hard to keep up to date with what's out there. Now what this does is it gives us kind of a framework to be able to evaluate new technologies. If I see something and say, okay, how would that fit in? Does it fit this criteria? And we can start to compile and create, reference lists. So, other questions? All right. I'm going to travel over to Jennifer to talk with you more about Oklahoma City University.
All right.